This is the best of 5 game. If whether this will span all the way to the 5 games, that will be the question. Valhalla, prove me wrong. And it's right off the bat. Oh, man. Not a great start. Not a great start to the series. Immediately, we have a pause. What exactly is that pause, actually? It's still pretty early into the game. In fact, if there is any form of problems or any issues with the draft, I think that now is a little bit too late to rectify, because they can actually pause in the draft itself. So it might be technical issue. I think that this is more of a technical issue kind of thing coming from teams, coming from one of the players at the very least. Seems like it's from the players from Valhalla. But we shouldn't take too long to get ourselves back into the game. My time in Cambodia in MSC 2023, I think, has been amazing. And whenever I look at Shma, it just kind of reminded me of that day. In fact, just casting MPL Cambodia just reminds me of my time in MSC. We're gonna sidetrack a bit there, right? I'm gonna kind of talk about my time in Cambodia. In fact, I still have... I cannot remember what's that called, but I will bring that out in the final day. I'll bring that out in the final day, cast with it, you know, kind of show the Cambodian pride, even though I'm not Cambodian, but I do kind of like to use some of these souvenirs to, you know, kind of play it out for this cast. A very aggressive start right off the bat. You can see the Secret is not exactly having a very good time in the middle lane, but it's just a Roman. Not too big of a deal. But moving on forward, let's analyze a little bit about lane priority. In the middle lane, I think that priority gotta have to go over to Valhalla. They do have the Gatokacha and of course the Yip that can actually clear waves really done fast. In fact, they're trying to be all out aggressive. They did manage to put quite a number over to the side of Cypher, but however, you gotta have to remember, this is a Hilda after all. Hilda can of course heal under the bushes very well. A quick little flicker for Cypher to get himself right out of dodge. Well, in the meantime, up in the top lane, Esmeralda will always have a little bit of an advantage, but going up as a CC, that is where things start to get a little bit tricky. You will take a little bit too much damage from all of those yo-yos, just because you want to go in and, you know, kind of make a spin. Esmeralda will, without a doubt, be able to clear the way faster. However, the CC will be able to poke the Esmeralda, so they are kind of on an equal ground. How they want to make full use of those lane priority is entirely up to them. Down in the XP is probably what would be what we'll call a wet noodle fight, a complete wet noodle fight. None of them is gonna die. But I know that at least Lapu Lapu at level 4 starts to get a little bit more annoying to the side of Yuzhong. So, we'll see. As the Bravest Warrior is just going to be happening, we do have the Furious Dive from King Ares and transforms into the Dragon. Opens things up and of course zone out a little bit more while Naja opens up the RWM, picks up the kill down to the Cypher. Great opening play from the side of Valhalla. Now putting Team Max in the top spot as now immobilized. It's going to be happening down to the Bebo. 1 down, 2 down already for the side of Team Max. In fact, it might become 3 down. In fact, it will be. Valhalla take 3 kills and the turtle for themselves. Great start from Valhalla. 2,000 gold lead. They are looking very confident, alright? Perhaps we might be able to see a little bit more advantageous positioning from Valhalla, but oh, a little bit of immobilized, but Secret's gonna be fine still. They're constantly just gonna be getting themselves onto the river lines as much as possible. Information is key. And with the fact that Valhalla actually does have pretty good lane priority in middle lane, they should be able to put up quite a bit of influence over to the top or the bottom lane. But so far, we haven't exactly been seeing that. So once Valhalla clears out the middle lane, we perhaps will be able to see if whether they want to make their way anywhere else. Because here's the problem. It is a double fighter game for both teams. There is no marksman in this game at all. Yisun Shin has been completely forgotten, either forgotten or has been banned out. If I recall, it has been completely forgotten and not banned at all. Yep, Yisun Shin was not picked out at all or banned out. So both teams doesn't seem to really enjoy playing the Yisun Shin. This is undoubtedly gonna be hard. But at least Team Max have the Kimi. Kimi is still a pseudo marksman in my books. So we can kind of still go towards that angle that Team Max can play for late game. They do have a higher booster that can also work very well for late game. So if anything, it is all mostly on Team Max. Early game advantage goes over to the side of Valhalla. With a quick couple of games and yo-yo hits, the Turtles gonna be available for the picking for either one of these two teams. With 2300 gold lead, I think the Valhalla should be able to put themselves in a pretty good spot. Chamar is at level 8 as compared to Sakzu, which is at level 7. You cannot underestimate the power of Chamar. Chamar will go pretty darn crazy. And of course, when it comes down to the turtle priority, it's always going to be Lancelot that gets that. But in the meantime, Nerja gets another kill for himself, as they are now just now going to be going straight on and forward. Chamar immediately releases all of that Shah residue by doing the Phantom Execution plus the Thorn Rolls. So he's going to be safe and sound while they manage to take 2-person down, take one turtle for themselves, and that is a massive, massive win for Valhalla. Right off the bat. This is a very different kind of early game we were expecting from the side of Valhalla. Early games working out well for Valhalla. I think the main problem from the side of Team Max is they lack crowd control. I'm not too sure what they're doing. I'm not too sure how they want to play this fight, because they don't have anyone from the side of Team Max locks people down, play the wombo combo kind of thing. Valhalla at least have a semblance of strategy. The strategy is just aerial deny, go for kills, lock people down, and that's all. Well, for the side of Team Max, they're mostly all about win in 1v1s. I want to put my CC and just poke out the opponent's front lines. I want Cypher to just look for the back lines and just slap everything onto that guy. I have a Kimi that just pokes out the front lines. I have Sakzu, just assassination. This team fight, or rather this plays from the side of Team Max, is all about damage. They lose out control just so that they can double down on damage. If whether that will work, that's the biggest question. Will it work? Although I'll say I'm a little bit skeptical. A little bit of jump. King Ares opens up into the Black Dragon form on the Naja. Opens up the RWM as well, but doesn't really have anyone to work around or play around with, or to kind of do damage within the box. We got a turtle currently available. It forces the Yuzhong to go back home because of the zoning tool. Cypher doesn't have a lot of HP to work with. As such, this is going to be an easy turtle for Valhalla. This is a damn good start. This is a damn good start for Valhalla. 4,700 gold lead. They are proving everyone wrong right now. Because Team Max, they are playing possum. In fact, I don't know. There we go. They finally managed to put a number onto Chamar. It's a quick fix to their current problem. And that problem is the fact that Sakzu can't catch up to the level of Chamar. Now that Chamar went down once, Sakzu at least do have the opportunity to hit level 11 and go toe-to-toe with Chamar. One turret down from the top lane. Two of the T1 turrets are now down. We're just left with the one in the middle lane. We'll eventually get to that point, as Valhalla will very likely want to box themselves up in fight for this one. As now King Ares pops himself up into the Black Dragon form. He's still gonna be fine, and in fact healing by quite a lot, as he drives himself all the way out of the team fight forcing out a RWM, and of course forcing out, he had to force out his own Black Dragon form to exit from the battle though. We've more or less been able to kind of show or kind of talk about what kind of win condition we're looking at from both teams. But I think that maybe we can talk a little bit more about power spikes. But we'll hold that thought for a little bit because it does seem like Cypher is doing something over to heads. Didn't manage to do quite a number, but his HP is going all the way down low as well. Now, power spike. Let's talk about that. When it comes to Valhalla, they do have very strong power spikes in the mid-stages of the game, somewhere around 12 minutes. In fact, right now, actually, 9 minutes to 10 minutes, they do have very strong power spikes, especially since they are 4.2 thousand gold ahead. They should be able to, without a doubt, put a very dirty number over the side of Team Max. The only problem about Team Max is that they do have the gold to actually neutralize the amount of power spikes that Valhalla has by building tanks. So, CC, as well as the Hilda, all they need to do is build tanky items. While their base stats, as well as the base multiplier for their skills, naturally give them the power advantage that they need to keep up with Valhalla's power spikes. So even right now, the fights should still be quite a stalemate. They should still be relatively equal, and I think that both teams know that. Even though we're looking at 4,200 gold lead from Valhalla, it doesn't do too much. As now Shama picks up the Lord take, King Ares joins in the fight, hoping they will be able to get a kill down on Naja, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They will, however, sacrifice Cypher though. So that is one person down for the side of Team Max, and that Lord will eventually be marching down from the top lane. So we should, at the very least, expect to see one turret takedown at the top. While the middle lane T1 might be a bit difficult, but not impossible because of the fact that Team Max, they do not have crowd control. The only form of crowd control that they have, Furious Dive, Curtain Call, as well as the Traction Pulse. That's all. It is not hard lockdowns, so there's not much that they can do to stop Valhalla. As a matter of fact, there we go. AOG, RWM, everything else just gonna be thrown right out from the side of Team Max. While in the meantime, Cypher just gonna be jumping himself all the way to the side, or to the back of Naja, hoping to be able to burst Naja down. But as you can see, he doesn't seem to have much that will be able to do that. King Ares tries to get himself away with a Furious Dive, while Head's just gonna be jumping right in with the Bravest Warriors, really cleaving his way through and tearing down Team Max. No one else from the side of Team Max has been taken down just yet, but the main thing is that they have the objective. T2 turrets in the middle lane and the top lane, while the Lord punches down over to the T3 turret, putting down that turret down to half HP. The fight is still ongoing, extremely scrappy. King Ares now losing his own life, while Shamar is looking for a kill down the lane. He will take that kill down, and that is yet another stun down over to Cypher. With the T3 taken down from the side of Team Max, Valhalla has a 8,000 gold lead. And they will be trampling onto Team Max. Who would have thought that Team Max is at such a situation as they lead in the regular seasons? Valhalla is quite literally trampling down and winning them by a storm. With the bottom lane now gonna be taken down and under siege, Valhalla, they're looking for a kill on Cypher. The AOG lands, the taunt lands, Cypher's taken down, and Naja picks up a mega. Team Max, they've got their back against the wall. This is a very rough game for the side of Team Max. What is going on here? We've got 28 seconds until the Lord eventually spawns. And this should technically be more than enough for them to end the game, if they manage to get the Lord. I wouldn't find that to be impossible though, because Sakzu is already at level 14 as compared to Shamal. He's already at level 15, right? So it's just one level away for Sakzu to be able to contest for the Lord. We have a conceal. Cypher tries to get himself running away. All 5 is literally gonna be running down the Cypher. No stuns as of yet, but Soul goes in with a falling star moon. RWM locked down the Cypher. AOG locks on the 2. That's gonna be getting a kill down the Cypher, no problems. While in the meantime, the Black Dragon Form is just gonna appear and just get himself running back home immediately. Quite literally lay a carpet with the curtain calls onto him. Valhalla now forced to run back home. What was that, Soul? I did not see that at all. Nope. Did not see that mistake. Did not see it. Oh man. What an opening game from Valhalla. Man, oh man. A very strong showing. It would be crazy if Valhalla just picks this game and just went along with it because of the fact that they have the momentum, right? Momentum is a very powerful tool in the mental warfare in these kind of competitive games. The Lord will eventually spawn in the middle lane, though. There we go. Do they have the wave clear to do with this? No. Unfortunately, they do not. Yo, I think that this game is over. I cannot see how they can turn this game around. I cannot see it at all. As now, the Lord is just going to be prancing in. RWM just going to be opening up. They don't have enough damage to realistically be able to deal with this Lord. In fact, the Lord just needs 2 more swings in order to bring this core down. Valhalla literally bringing the fight over to the homes of Team Max. And now with 2% down from the side of Valhalla, there is actually a possibility. No, it's not possible for Team Max to take this game number 1. The unexpected has been realized. Valhalla that have yet to take a single win out of Team Max in the regular season now